me, says Tyreek Hill. He says, strike up the effing band. Start me this week. Tyreek Hill is coming for everybody that's been doubting him, thinking he's washed. He hasn't had a quarterback. Achane gets to go back to his normal explosive role. It all begins this weekend, week number 8. Two of the best buy lows in fantasy football, period, are this man Achane at the running back position, this man Tyreek Hill at the wide receiver position, also CeeDee Lamb though, Lamb chops. Those are my 3 best buy lows walking into week number 8. Alvin Kamara, broken hand. Cooper Kupp, Tua, JD5, JT, more DeAndre Hopkins. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Rudy, you're embarrassing yourself right now. Dropping a super chat. New name for Smitty, sleeping in Smitty. I'm literally up at 4 a.m. dropping the DeAndre Hopkins live stream. And Rudy, come on, Rudy, you can do better than that. All right, appreciate your super chat, though. But on to the news. We'll get to the super chats in a minute. Appreciate every single one of you. Tyreek Hill says, start me. Strike up the effing band. Start me in fantasy this week. Tua Tagovailoa is back, baby. And that is going to rejuvenate this entire offense. Return to practice Wednesday. There's that news. We've got a little graphic somewhere of Tua Tagovailoa out there on the field. I think this is it right here. Yeah, Dolphins QB Tua Tagovailoa returned to practice today for the first time since suffering his concussion nearly 6 weeks ago. Tua flashed a lot of smiles later when the team drills started. Tua put his helmet on and had plenty of zip on the passes to his teammates. This is exactly what we need. And it couldn't come at a better time. I will say they'll do case studies on this thing. How bad is Miami Mike McDaniel? I guess you could say. Great scheme artist. I'm not saying his team won't fire off again, but like there's some limitations to this man. How do you go literally 6 weeks without using Tyreek Hill? It wasn't like he did kind of badly. It was almost as if Miami Mike didn't even know he existed. It's kind of shocking and strange. And again, looking back on it, it's almost like you're dumbfounded when you think about how he did not even figure out a way to get him the football pretty much the entire time, which is why he's such an amazing buy low opportunity, because his owners are like, I don't know. I know Tua's coming back. I get it, but I don't know if it's something that I can 100% buy into. I can see why people are hesitant, but we're going to go in all in on that. And I think that the premise of buy low on Tyreek, the premise on buy low on anybody is, do you need to make a change? If you need to make a change, then we're here to try and concoct some trades so you can get trades done before week 8 and get these buy low advantageous situations into your lineup so you can make comebacks and win and all the great stuff that's needed for you to get into your fantasy football championship is maybe in some cases needed to be had via trade, needed to be had via mixing things up. If some of you are 6 wins or 5 wins, you probably don't need to make a trade. You may not need to go get Tyreek Hill. You certainly shouldn't be trading away Barkley or Henry or anybody popping off right now. But if you're losing, you have 2 wins, 1 win, 0 wins, maybe even 3 wins, and you haven't been doing it, getting it done with Barkley. You haven't been getting it done with Jamar Chase. You haven't been getting it done with Kyron, and you can't win with them. You've got to let them go. If you love them, let them go. If Denny's here, call in Denny. We need you to sing that song for us live on the show. But if you love them, let them go. And let them thrive somewhere else. Kind of like the Titans did to DeAndre Hopkins, who is now in a KC Chief uniform. And this was unbelievable to think about. DeAndre Hopkins went to bed 1-5, woke up 6-0. That's got to be a good feeling. I mean, look at the grin on his face alone. Hopkins, who knows what he's got left in the tank, but if he has anything left at all, you know Patrick Mahomes and the KC offense, 6-0 team, needing a possession wide receiver, needing a jump ball specialist, they're going to get Hopkins, the most out of Hopkins that somebody could get out of him. And if there's anybody that could have, let's say he's not a 1,400-yard receiver anymore. We're not idiots. What if he's a 912 prorated, on pace type of player? Like, yeah, I'm not saying he gets 12 touchdowns between now and the end of the year, but that kind of play is what you'll get out of Hopkins, which is, let me get the old trusty calculator out. 12 divided by 17 is a 0.7, exactly what I said last night. 0.7 TDs per game, maybe something along the lines of like 60 yards a game. So, could have those 100-yard games once in a while, but no one's expecting the Hopkins of old, like the exact form. But could he have remnants of that? Could he have games where he is 100 yards and a touch, or he could have 2 touchdowns and 40 yards, or he could just be that guy that's clutch and allows Worthy to go all over the field? Worthy's going to explode now. This is good for Worthy. This is good. Hopkins being in KC, similar to Amari Cooper in Buffalo being good for Keon Coleman, who led the league in receiving last week for week number 7. 4 catches, 125. That's a great first week out of the chute. Having Amari Cooper in-house, well, DeAndre Hopkins in-house in KC allows Worthy to be worthy and do worthy things. Worthy to the mother freaking moon. Now that we have Hopkins commanding all kinds of defensive attention. So stock on the rise for Hopkins, stock on the rise for Worthy, stock on the rise for Patrick Mahomes. I think stock on decline for everybody in Tennessee. You might say, how does this affect Ridley? Smitty, how does this affect Ridley? Ridley, tell me about Ridley, Smitty. I don't know that I want anybody on the Tennessee roster, period. And all of you DeAndre Hopkins haters, no one's saying that we think he's a lock or gold. But you'll notice that anybody ripping on DeAndre Hopkins was sleeping in. Like, what's his face? The super chatter that said, we'll call Smitty sleeping in Smitty. I love you, pal. Rudy, you're my guy. Rudy, you're my guy. But that couldn't be the more dumb way to label me when I'm literally up at 4 a.m. doing a live stream for you. Like, when do I sleep? Sleeping in Smitty? Sleeping in Smitty? Where do you get your balls, bro? But Rudy, I appreciate you, Rudy. But I just think that people are sleeping at the wheel on what Worthy's going to do now with Mahomes getting to throw footballs to DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, and what I was saying was the people that were upset, speaking to Rudy sleeping in, the people that slept in and didn't get DeAndre Hopkins off waivers for free because he had what you call that little green plus add button right next to him. It said Hopkins. And all you had to do in the morning, not put in a claim, not do
Initiate full load drop.
None of that was needed. You just had to walk in and say, I'll add him for free.
Let him cook.
That's all you had to do. You just had to tap the little button. Just tap the little button, and as soon as you tap the little button, it turns into this. That or maybe it's like this. I think it's like something like this. You could trade or hold them, whatever your format is. This guy was free. He was sitting there free, and the people that didn't get him, they're upset, and so they're gonna come in and trash talk. Oh yeah, Hopkins on the message board. How many people raise your hand if on the message board somebody ripped on your adding of DeAndre Hopkins? You didn't even say anything. You just added him, and someone on the message board had to give their 2 cents about how they screwed up, and it's not going to be a factor for you. Steve thinks he's going to do well with the Hopkins edition. Damn it, why didn't I get up early? Son of a bitch! Son of a... you're sitting here just minding your own business. This guy woke up, he went to bed 1-5, woke up 6-0. All you did was add him. And someone in your league can't hold their tongue. They're so upset at themselves, they gotta project out to you and go, this guy thinks he's Hopkins is gonna, can you believe it, guys? Hopkins, and you're gonna have a couple other people pile it on because only one person can get him. You, because you were watching my show and not sleeping in like Rudy. You were watching my show at 4 a.m. Arizona time. That was like around 6, turning 7 a.m. Eastern. You're watching my show this morning when I didn't have a wink of sleep. And you were able to pick them up. Congratulations to all of you. Now, I don't know if it's going to yield returns. We don't know. It was free. It cost it. Remember what I just showed you? What did it cost you to pick them up? Focus. It costed you nothing. It was a press of a button. That's all it was. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But this is a great addition, a great free addition. Jaden Daniels, there's a lot of concern he doesn't play this week. A lot of people, I think, insinuating that he won't. But I have a sneaky suspicion that this man is not going to miss this contest. You never know. They're going to play it safe with him. But this is kind of one of those things where, like, tomorrow we see him out there, and it's as if nothing happened or something like that. I could see it happening. I think he wants to go at Caleb Williams. I don't think he sits this game out. But tough to say. That's total speculation on my part. I just think that this is a battle that needs to be had. I don't think he wants to sit it out. I think he wants to keep the momentum going. I think he's a soldier. But I do think that if there's risk of major potential setbacks, they'll hold him out. But let's hang tight on this one and find out. Did not practice Wednesday. Doesn't necessarily determine anything. And there's still a lot of people that think he could or won't play on both sides of the fence. Jonathan Taylor returned to practice Wednesday. We're feeling like this guy's getting ready to kind of, fully bounce back. Could he be limited in some ways this week if he does play? And I think he will, unless he suffers a setback, which sometimes they tell us that there was a setback, sometimes they don't. But I think he's going to play. He's a great buy low candidate walking into week number 8. We've got JT on this board. He's been on the board for a couple weeks now. Walker, you might say, Walker's not a buy low. He's a buy low in the sense that people are trying to decide whether his touchdown volume will not sustain, because the workload sometimes is hit and miss. The amount of carries and the usage is hit and miss. And so sometimes you have people in massive droves that look at something from a big perspective. Last year, remember, in the beginning of the year, he had a bunch of touchdowns, but the volume wasn't there, and then he kind of fell off. This year, there's not a lot of oversaturation of target share headed his way. Overuse, which is good for injury, but like you're not even using him fully and properly, but he's scoring touchdowns. His nose for the end zone is as good as anyone's in the NFL. It's that Alvin Kamara-esque, throw it to me, I'll catch a touchdown. Run me, I'll run a touchdown. You want me to throw a touchdown? Try me. Want me to kick field goals? I could do that too. Walker is one of the most athletic players in the National Football League. Walker is the best change of direction running back, period. That's over Gibbs, over anybody. Change of direction. Gibbs and Kyron are Gibbs and Achane are the quickest running backs. And the one cut, the acceleration, no one's as good as Achane and Gibbs in terms of accelerating and literally seeing a small opening start to close, and they literally just project right through there. But when it comes to stopping, like going full speed and stopping on one step, like Barry Sanders used to do, that's Walker. Only player in the league that can stop going full speed on one step. It's unbelievable. how players can do that. How Barry Sanders didn't tear an ACL was beyond me. You watch footage of Barry Sanders cutting. He literally is going 100% speed, and on one cut changes directions. Unbelievable. That's what this guy can do. And they need to feed him. And so, again, to my point, why are we talking about buy low when he's been scoring touchdowns? Because I can test the temperature on trades and values better than anybody else in this industry, because I engage with my community better than anybody. Meaning I get a sense, my sensory feelers are out there, and I know what in the hell's going on. I know what you're all thinking because I see it in more volume than anybody else. And the amount of people saying, should I trade him? Should I get rid of him? Is weird considering how much he's scoring. Buy him low. There's probably maybe one of every 4 situations the owner will be in some sort of like, do I sell him while his value's high type of vibe. He'll be in that type of situation, which is just weird, but I'm buying on that notion, right? Taylor, been injured. Don't even know if he's fully returning. Like, there's people that have been waiting. Yeah, your natural thought process would be, why would they sell him now? They've waited this entire time. And they may have thought that same thing. That's the way they approached it, right? But like Mike Tyson says, you have a plan. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. Now owners that are 2 wins, 1 win that had JT, and I venture to say anybody that spent a top 12, 13 overall pick on JT probably doesn't have even 3 wins. So, yeah, you're right. Logically, why would someone trade Cooper Kupp or Taylor or Collins next week, Nico Collins, or Puka Nacua right now when they're on the verge of returning, or Achane or Hill on the verge of returning? Because people are 1 win, 2 wins, maybe 3 wins in those situations, and they don't want to wait anymore. They can't wait on this guy ramping up. They can't wait on Kamara bouncing back. They can't wait on Cooper Kupp being maybe limited this week, or getting traded and then being unavailable in a midweek situation and having 2 bye weeks, or whatever the hell might end up happening with this situation, because he's got his bye week already. What if he goes to a team that hasn't had their bye? Like, there's all those scenarios that run through people's heads. Nacua needs to be ramped up. Reed's in a slump. Deebo Samuel's probably out this week, then has a bye week. Neighbors had 2 weeks off with a concussion and then bombed the next week. Lamb Chops, people are worried about his situation and him. And Tyreek Hill, even though his quarterback is back, people are still trashing him. And I just think this is the best buy low group we've seen all year long. This is a win-a-league crew. And even the quarterbacks, the Laporta, there's value everywhere. Even though we're pissed off at this man right here because he doesn't know how to get his wide receiver the football, there's still hidden value, even in Dak as he reconnects with Lamb. This is the buy low situation. Some have more risk than others, but you go get them, you go attack them. I've got a full video up. Go look at the thumbnail. Buy low, week number 8. Go check out that video if you want even more detail on all those players and why. I know, I'm surprised I haven't talked about this yet other than at the jump. Alvin Kamara playing with a broken hand. Alvin Kamara says he has a broken right hand. Look, he's playing. Could be why he's been a little bit sluggish, I suppose, trying to protect it, maybe not getting the extra yards he normally would. But I mean, you're trading for him, you're taking on some risk. You may even clip this part right here if you want, but if you want to trade him, here you go.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Breaking news. Alvin Kamara playing with the broken hand. This seems risky, right? Right. Cut. All right, you need that clip to go get Alvin Kamara. Call that shady, whatever you want. I work for you, okay? This is what you want. I work for you. If you need to use that clip, go use it. Go get him low. There's certainly a risk to this. If he gets his hand hit really hard during one carry, he could be done. So there's concern. But broken hand or not, this man's out there. He just got his new bag. He got a 2-year extension. Fantastic that he got paid. And so, here we go. Buy low. He's not out. despite having a broken hand, you probably thought when you saw the title here, like, oh God, am I out Kamara? Not yet. But if you're in a full mode of let's go balls to the wall, let's jump into the fire, into the flames, and try and win this thing, then he's worth a gamble, I think, and a buy low, especially if you can get someone to panic on the broken hand, which maybe they have every right to panic on a broken hand. I mean, maybe this is not, you don't need two hands. What do you need two hands for? You're a running back. Catch it, hold it, run it, score. Hopkins, again, we discussed that today when we broke the Hopkins traded to the KC Chiefs situation, and what a fantastic move that is. What a fantastic move. We've got super chats galore coming in. We've got $20 hollers to be answered. We've got this one from Ron. Ron dropping a $20 holler on screen. Ron, you're going to get immediate attention. Appreciate you dropping that, pal. Juan dropping the Blink $1.99 super chat. Juan, appreciate you dropping that, my kind sir. Let's go to Ron super chat. 3 and 4 last place team offered Kamara in London plus a 5th round pick next year for my Flowers, Waddle, and a 3rd round pick. That's tough because we're looking at Waddle right now from a weird lens, right? But from a long-term lens, he's a little bit more valuable. Then again, it's like without a quarterback, if Tua gets hurt or doesn't play 2025 somehow, what's Waddle worth anyway? I don't know. I'd probably say give me London and Kamara. And on top of that, bro, even if it's Dynasty Keeper, there's picks involved, so I assume full Dynasty. Look, we got to stop playing for 4 years down the road. Kamara might have one more year left. Despite being an older player, he is the type of player that has light workload between the tackles, mixed, type of workload, gives him more longevity. Fresh contract. Probably going to say give me the London side of this trade. Bijan Gibbs. Yeah, not crazy about it, giving up a 3rd. I don't do it. I don't just run away because he's older. I think we do that far too much in play. You start playing for 4 years ahead instead of 2 years ahead, you're going to be playing for 2nd place every year, not 1st place. Pitts or Njoku rest of season. I'd probably say keep Pitts. Better offense, and Njoku might be the only target, but he's very injury prone anyway. Trade one for Ramondre, I suppose, but I don't know that Ramondre is going to be super consistent for you. Rudy, again, thank you for the Smitty new name, Sleeping Smitty, even though I didn't sleep at all today. You got to be out of your mind. You got to be out. You got your what set of balls you got on you, Rudy, to come into a live stream where I've been up all day. I've been live streaming Graveyard Shift, 4 a.m. Back again. Monty and T for CD. I'd take CD Lamb, honestly. But, there's some pros and cons to that, having one player versus the two. Start 2, Olave, Pickens, Dell, Worthy. I'm going to go with Olave, unknowns. I'm going Pickens and Worthy pretty easily here. And I like Dell enough, but you got to put Dell on the bench in that situation. Let's see here. Garrett, appreciate you. Currently 3 and 4. My team is Kyler, Achane, Jacobs, Hill, McLaurin, Bowers, Smith, Bigsby, McBride, Bigsby. You get 2 Bigsbys, bro. Chubb, and do I ride it out to team or Allen owner won't trade? I would say Achane, Jacobs. I would try and maybe move Bigsby on the high, even though I love them. Bigsby and McLaurin, or Bigsby and Jacobs for one bigger, stronger, better player. Take your pick. Take your pick. Lamb chops, of course. Neighbors, Hill, Jacobs for Collins, Jacobs for Kupp, Jacobs for Debo. Those are attractive running back across for wide receivers that have problematic wide receivers that are on a discount very temporarily. And Jacobs being an RB, even though he's shaky, he's going to have more value because someone might need an RB bad. Opinions on new team: Purdy, Garrett Wilson, Achane, Kamara, Kelsey, Debo. Like the team sitting Hubbard. I like the team a lot. I think this will be very, very solid. I think obviously, Debo, if Debo ends up sitting, then you put in Chuba Hubbard and you're good to go. I like the team a lot. Let it ride for a week. will address trades and sell high opportunities after you let those boys play ball, and some of those guys need to gain value. But I'd say very good team, very capable of winning it all and just going 1 week at a time versus like, oh, it's the best team I've ever seen, but is it good enough to win 1 week at a time? Absolutely. 3 and 4 already have Achane starting. Trade Debo and DJ Moore for Tyreek. I'm going to say you want to take a gamble, bro, and understand that it is a gamble. I'm okay with this. You know, Debo's had his problems. I'm definitely buying him low, but there's concern. The bye week's coming up on top of probably missing this week. That's 2 weeks. It's a lot of time to miss, you know, whereas Hill's full go. Bye week out of the way, I'd take Hill. Traded JJ for Flowers and Kamara, had to make a move. It's not horrible. I don't think you got like worked over, but would I have done it? No. And had to make a move, I still would have tried to make a different move. I don't know that I would have felt that I had to make that move, but I understand making a move was important. You know, hope Flowers does what you believe he'll do. Yo, Smitty, traded my Pickens and D-Hop for Puka. Team is K9. D-Hop and Pickens for Puka. You look, Pickens with Russell Wilson is better than Pickens with Fields for whatever reason. Even though Fields like lit it up with DJ Moore, it's kind of wild that Pickens and Fields didn't connect. But one could argue that Pickens is as good as Puka back. Hopkins could be good. I guess I'd probably take Puka if he was fully back and balling out. You know, and at 4 and 3, this could be a difference maker. So I think it's pretty arguable. I think that if you're going to bank on the Puka side, you're banking on him being elite. And you're maybe banking on Kupp getting traded. And for those reasons, I'm okay with it. But I don't know that I have a real hardcore answer. It's pretty even. Trade my 2025 first round pick for JJ, of course. Also get Brees in the second next year. Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, of course. Trade a 2025 first rounder for JJ. You can make that the number 1 overall guaranteed, and you're still probably doing that trade. JJ's the number 1 overall pick if thrown into your rookie draft, my guy. I'm a believer in MHJ. I am too. I believe in his talent. I do too. Just traded Josh Jacobs and Dalton Kincaid for MHJ and Trey McBride. Definitely smashed that trade.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Not only do I think McBride will, explode, bounce back, I believe MHJ will as well. So I like that trade a lot. I get that there's risk, and I get that there's, okay, what's the problem? But I do believe that could get solved. Trade away D-Hop for Waddle. I would say it's pretty even. I maybe lean Waddle with Tua back, but it's certainly something that, we could argue a week from now and feel completely different about as a whole group. So I think this team, it does good for you. I think it's solid. It's a good gamble to take on either side. Pretty even, Steven, if you ask me. Start one in the second flex. Diggs, Amari, Javonte, or Waddle. I'd probably say with this scenario, Javonte might be your safest play. Your high risk, high reward, probably going to be Amari. But I would say Javonte's pretty safe. Chat, can we get a vote on that? Javonte, Amari, Diggs, Waddle. Can you vote on that one, please? Amari, Diggs, Javonte, Waddle. Amari, Diggs, Javonte, Waddle. Please vote on Thomas's question and help the brother out because he needs us. Already have Pearsall and the number 1 spot in the and the number 1 spot on waivers. Who's a better pickup, Jennings or McMillan? They're really both pretty close, man. McMillan's the number 1 maybe for his team, but they're going to struggle a lot more under Baker's tutelage. Even though you want Baker to continue, guys, I get it, but like without Hopkins or without Evans and Godwin, it's going to be different. Tough sledding. It really will be. So I kind of lean toward Jennings because he's also had one of the biggest wide receiver weeks of the season. He's versed in the offense. McMillan's a rookie, so he'll be up and down. I'd say Jennings by far, but not to say McMillan's not my boy. We've been talking McMillan up, and he's a great play for a lot of other people that don't have Juwan Jennings. So I'd say Jennings, definitely, especially because you have Pearsall kind of like handcuffs that situation a little bit. Or you could get rid of Pearsall for McMillan. Just got a trade offer, George Pickens, Tank Dell for Devonta Smith. I think I'd probably rather have Pickens and Tank Dell right now because you get two players, I think both still fully capable of being everything we thought they could be. Pickens more so now with Russ. I don't think Russ is a better quarterback than Fields, but he's better for Pickens regardless. That's an objective take. Did I sell too much? No. I don't think you did. Assuming you got rid of Devonta Smith, I think either way you're fine. I don't think that that's a trade that I think someone should regret on either side. It's a lot of pros and cons to it. Uncle wants to upgrade running back, says Frank. My target is locked on Tyreek and Neighbors. Who should I trade him? Bigsby, B-Rob with one of maybe Olave, Waddle to get potentially one of those guys. So that's a lot. Maybe you make it a 2 for 2. If you do it straight up, Bigsby for Neighbors, given that Neighbors has played one bad game after two concussed, being ruled out 2 games in a row, 3 bad games in a row in your uncle's eyes, right? Because your uncle's pissed off. Your uncle's like he, got home from a long shift and he has to see, working on Sundays, Uncle Steve putting the garage doors up on the weekend. This guy comes home, cracks open a Coors Light, sits in the lazy boy, reclines back, turns on the boob tube, and then pulls up the newspaper for the box scores. Actually, this is Monday. And he looks at the box score. And your uncle, what do we call him, Steve? Or Uncle Buck? Let's call him Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck looks at the freaking box score, and Neighbors has 40 yards after he's taken 2 weeks off. Your uncle's worked and put garage doors up for years with concussions. A garage door came right down on his head last week. Did he go home? Did he ask for PTO? No, he didn't. He went back to work with a concussion. You think Uncle Buck is excited about the fact that Neighbors scored 4 points for him in non-PPR? Because I know your Uncle Buck plays in a non-PPR. I would say go looking. Go looking, my broski. See if you can do that now. If you got to do the B-Rob and Olave, that's fine. I'd do both of them straight up. Waddle and B-Rob probably for Tyreek Hill. Neighbors probably 2, but try and do it 2 for 2. Try and do 2 for 2. I like your chances of getting it done, and I like your team regardless. You don't necessarily need to make any moves. So, Uncle Buck. Okay, Devonta Smith and Jalen Wright for Jacobs and Keenan Allen. I'd rather have Devonta Smith. Just overall. That's a tough question, though. Trade Reed and Najee for Neighbors. I'd take Neighbors, but Reed is very underrated. Trade Debo for JK. No. I'd rather have Debo with Ayuk out for the year. I have CD Nico for. Try and do something else, bro. JK's not somebody that I'm super into the idea of acquiring him, especially at that cost. With Debo having Ayuk out for the year, I get that there's the missed game this week probably, then a bye week, but he's still gonna ball out. Got offered Evans and my B-Rob Jr. for my B-Rob Jr. If you don't need B-Rob Jr., I think it's okay to have Evans for like, what is it, week 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so 7 more weeks. I'm fine with that. Taz, I mean, it's easy to say that's horrible right now to wait on him, but if you can wait on him, pull Braylon or Kendre Miller. I don't want Kendre Miller around my team, let alone on my team, so Braylon. Smitty, can I take a lap? You can certainly take a lap, rock out. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Start, sit, choose 3. Kupp, Dell, Coleman, Chase Brown. I'm going to go with the... Jeez, bro. I guess I go Chase Brown, Kupp, and then maybe Coleman for now. I'm tempted. Guys, we're Coleman over Dell right now, right? But let's have a deeper conversation, Top Gun, about Coleman versus Dell later in the week. Okay? But I think the rest you can lock in. Or, how we feel about Chase Brown. Maybe we put the 3 receivers in. We put Brown on the bench for 1 week. But I think he could score a couple touchdowns the moment we put him on the bench. Wilson, McLaurin for Hill. Garrett Wilson, McLaurin for Hill. Seems like a little much. I'm going to say negative on that one. But I like where you're headed. But I think you're giving up 2 very good players. Borderline wide receiver 1s, really. Trade Debo for JT, not JK. Take JT. Take JT. Yes, I take JT, bro. Very, very good clarification. No sleep, Smitty. Laporta, Ingram. I like Esteban knows what it is. Sleeping in Smitty. What are we sleepless in Seattle? Like, what are we doing, Rudy? No sleep, Smitty. Laporta, Ingram, Kincaid, half PPR, rest of season order. I would say Laporta, Ingram, Kincaid in that order. I really believe in Laporta. One of these days I'm going to sleep on the live stream. I'm not going to mean to. I'm just going to fall asleep answering questions. Did your read Nico Collins injury news today? No, Kevin. No, Kevin. I did not. I think I know what you're asking. Did I read you? Did we read you in Nico Collins? Okay. Where are we at? Where are we at? What super chat was it? Kevin, appreciate you. Esteban with a $20 hauler. Michael with a $20 hauler. And let me hit this real quickly. Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. While you wait, while I type this message real quick, let's see a little something.
He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
All right. Okay. Appreciate you all very much. Okay. Esteban, $20 hauler. Charles, $20 hauler. Let me drag all these on screen real quickly and get them all organized. Kevin, if you got a specific question about Nico, let me know. I'm not sure what you were referring to. Would of you trade? Some of you guys, I don't know what happened. Did the iPhone update its predictive text? Because everyone's wild on these messages today. Would of you trade Dak and Jalen Tolbert for Stroud and Juwan Jennings? I would rather have Stroud and Juwan Jennings, but there's arguments to be made on both sides. Appreciate your $20 hauler. Jennings I'm excited about right now, and I'm not a huge Juwan Jennings guy. I'm not huge on Juwan Jennings. Turtle says, Smitty, read the super chat, bro, you little cutie buns. Turtle, I'll do my best when I find it, pal. I'll do my best. Thank you for the shout out. Superflex trade away Chase for Hurts and Olave. QB's Dak. This is tough. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say keep Jamar Chase. Should I make the trade? I'm gonna say no. Not enough. If you're trading Jamar Chase away, bro, and you got Dak, I'm fine with you going after a quarterback. But what the trade looks like to me, if I'm just gonna map it out, it's just gonna be something like this. It's gonna be me trading Jamar Chase for Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, somebody like that. Let's call it Hurts because he's going to command a little more, right? And it's going to be a Taylor. It's going to be an Achane, a Kamara, a Cooper Kupp, a Deebo Samuel, a Tyreek Hill, maybe a Collins and something, but that's what it's going to require. I can't trade. Olave doesn't do it for me right now. There's too much unknown with this situation. There's too much frustration. There's too much Waddle kind of feel. Like, will he even get the volume? So I don't think this is the move. I'd rather bank on Dak rebounding Michael to some remnants of his old form, something close to Jalen Hurts, so much more than I think Olave can reach Jamar Chase levels. So I'm going to say stand down. Don't make that trade. Michael to the moon. Appreciate Michael. Michael's always concocting huge trades and smashing them. Tua, Hunt, Javonte, Williams, St. Brown, etc., etc. I'm 2-5, and I just traded away Taylor and Deontay for Hill and Javonte. I think you smashed that.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Absolute crushing. They call him the Crusher. Esteban, appreciate you. Esteban the Crusher. No mercy, he says. All right, let's get these super chats. Let's just smash them out. Drop Dell for Coleman. I'd say no. Figure out another way. But pick up Coleman. My Mahomes and D-Hop for Josh Allen. Of course. Blake. Drop McMillan, Ridley, Tillman, or Coleman for Shakir. I would say maybe Tillman for Shakir, but not the others. But I'm not even like sold on that. I'm just giving you the worst player. 3 and 4, should I trade Chase Brown and Flowers for Nico? I would, absolutely. Nico's a great buy. Do I have this correct? Start Lamb, Hopkins, Devontae Smith, sit MHJ, Reed, Dell, Puka. No, I'd rather start Reed. I think Reed is a phenom, and I think he's very underrated right now. But I do like Devontae Smith. And to be honest with you, bro, this could go 100 different ways. I actually don't start Hopkins, though. I start Smith over Hopkins. So Lamb, sorry, let me check that. Lamb, Smith, and Reed are my starters. That way you don't have to sit Devontae Smith. I like Hopkins, but let's wait a week. You know what I'm saying? Traded Worthy and BT for Jamar Chase. Love it. Who do I start this week? Chase between Mason, Debo, Kupp. Okay, you just traded for Jamar Chase, and then we're chasing between. Too many words chase. It's confusing me. I feel like Chase is in this question at the bottom. Mason, Debo, Kupp. You're going probably Jordan Mason for safety. Debo probably doesn't play. If he did, I'd still start Jordan Mason over him coming back with pneumonia. And Cooper Kupp, I suppose Cooper Kupp gets into the conversation if everything's good to go, but this is tomorrow night, and could be limited. Tank and DK, I start Kupp in almost every scenario, but yours is you're playing in an 8-man league. Tank plus DK for Kupp and Downs. Give me, I guess, Kupp and Downs because Kupp is back. Problem is, what if Kupp gets traded? You know, and what if he gets traded and then he doesn't get used for a week and then he has a bye week? And it's like, wow. So we'll have to play that by ear. Let me drag these on screen and answer them in order in which they're received. Let me put them all on screen here. Hold on one second. Let's see here. We got peanut. We got a lot of peanut butter and peanut butter cups and peanut butter followers. I don't know if that's the same person or if what's going on with that. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you. Got yours here. Kevin, hang tight. Rock Out. My boy Rock Out dropping a super chat. Casey dropping a super chat. I just want you guys to see that your super chats are in order here. I know some of you think I haven't got to your super chat. A lot of you say, Smitty, you missed my super chat. It's not the case. It's just there's a long wait for a table at this fine dining establishment. And I can only go as fast as I can. Yes, I could hire another cook. But you don't want another cook cooking you your meal. You want Smitty cooking your meal, so you're just going to have to wait patiently, and I appreciate every single one of you. Hey, Smitty, Air 5 or Tua. I'd probably say Tua. Thank you for the super chat. Montgomery and Higgins for AJB. I'd take probably Montgomery and Higgins, even though I love AJB. It's a great question. Great question. One I could answer, I think, differently every time I read it. You know, it's like just one of those very close calls, bro. Very close. Appreciate you. Papa. We got Booty dropping a super chat. We got Tyler dropping a super chat. We got Ethan dropping a super chat. We got Curry dropping a super chat. Ethan and Curry, thank you. And then the most recent one, which unfortunately you go to the back of the line. Oh, no, you don't, because you're just being unselfish here. 880 people in the building, now 923. Please hit that thumb up button and subscribe. This guy knows how to use the super chat function. Bruce, absolutely smashing it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Appreciate every single one of you, Bruce. Bruce to the moon. Bruce to the motherfucking moon. You know who else is going to the moon this week? I don't know if you ever saw this data behind this, but the science behind this algorithmic equation on why Achane is going to be a monster this week. Let me just let it tell you.
Achane. Achane is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
Okay, Vlad, appreciate you. Wild Bill, appreciate you. Smitty giving you props again. Says Wild Bill, you were spot on all season about Christian McCaffrey and Ayuk. You were right about a lot. I mean, I'm wrong about a lot too. I really appreciate you though. I just want to make sure people don't think I'm sitting here patting myself on the back as I read this. There's a lot of stuff that goes wrong too. More than you know, than you get credit for. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Wild Bill. Wild Bill to the moon. Always sending the amazing compliments. Wild Bill's absolute magician. He's a super chat wordsmith, is what we like to call him around here. I've held on to Achane and Waddle. Pick up Tua. I think it depends on your situation, but yeah, I'd certainly consider picking up Tua if you need a quarterback. Jonathan, I'm going to move you to the back of the line because you have a very long super chat. I think Kevin's asked a couple times. Let me put Kevin's ahead. Kevin says, I was asking about if the news on Nico today affects the trade. What news on Nico today? I don't know if you're misreading anything on Nico today. What is the news on Nico? What are you talking about? The latest on Nico is that he's got 2 more games left before he can return, but there's a report here. This one here from, I believe, a Texans beat writer from today, 11 hours ago. Nico Collins on injury reserve with a hamstring injury and out at least 2 more games because he's on IR. Is doing well in his recovery with no setbacks per sources, and there's optimism that the original 3 to 4 game diagnosis is on track. So, Kevin, I think you're listening to the wrong person. Somebody's whispering in your ear sweet nothings. And they're feeding you information. You're causing hysteria in the chat, thinking that Nico's got bad news breaking. I think, unless there's something I don't know what you're reading, Kevin. Kevin, you're causing hysteria. Kevin, you're on a plane right now and you're vomiting, and then everybody starts throwing up next to you. You're causing mass hysteria, Kevin. God, Kevin, calm down, Kevin. Kevin, calm down. Stop raising your voice, Kevin. Kevin, are you there? I love you, pal. I hope you're not mad at me. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on. You're startling everyone. Okay, DeBalt, appreciate DeBalt dropping a super chat. DeBalt, I apologize, but you got to go to the back of the line with this long message. My boy, JW, give London plus Javonte, get Walker, BT, and JR. Guys, you got to stop using abbreviations that don't. Give London and Javonte, get Walker, BT. Oh, Junior, BT Junior. I thought that was a third player. Yes, I take Walker and BT. Jayden Reed. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking JR. I think he's saying BT Jr. Yeah, I was thinking like Jayden Reed. Who's JR? Yes. I take that. JR. It looks like, doesn't it look like another player? BT and JR. Screw JR. I want BT. Yes, I still do it no matter what. Even if JR's nothing, I still do it. If JR is something special on top of that, and he's not sent us to the junior part, I'm doing that. I'm doing that live. Should I trade Mahomes for Waddle? I have Caleb. It's okay. If you want to go that route, I'm fine with it. I don't know that I would do it. I'd rather trade Caleb. But that's me. You can call me a hater or whatever you want. Smitty, drop Worthy for McMillan. No, Vlad. Vlad, Worthy's about to explode. What are you doing? No, Vlad. No, Vlad. Vlad, stand down. Somebody take away his login access to his ESPN league, please. Where's Kevin? That is the news. So the news I just read to you, receiver Nico Collins on injured reserve with a hamstring injury and is out at least 2 more games, is doing well and on track. I mean, everything that we've expected to be Nico's timetable is on his time. It's still on track. So nothing's affected. It's all good. If you mean like, does it make me feel a little more anxious to go trade for him because I know that everything's going well, then yeah, I guess if that's what you're looking for as far as an answer, sure. But no, Kevin says out of the box. But I don't think, like, I already had expectations he was going to be fine. So I'm already buying him at, like, the max value I'm capable of buying him at. But yes, to answer your question, it's great news, right? It's great news. But nothing was of concern anyway. Appreciate you. And then Cruz with the super chat. You're going to go to the back of the line because this sucker is long, and I can't jump the line with that long of a message. So let me put it right here. I will come for you, though. Trade offer my Devontae Smith for Mason. I'm taking Devontae Smith long term. You need some wins now. You could consider the Mason side. You're 5-2 though. I'm going to take Devontae Smith.
Motion detected at the front door.
Tracy, we are Debo, Neighbors, BT, Dell, Addison. Wide receivers are Debo. Okay. What do I think? I think I want Devontae Smith. Even if I've got to make another trade or something, I'm not sending Devontae Smith for Mason in a cloudy situation. I do like Mason a lot. I'm not selling him on the cheap necessarily, but I think buying him going into this week is smart if you need that win. You're 5-2 though, because I think he's going to explode. And I don't want you to come out of this week going, Smitty, I should have done that trade. Mason had 102 touchdowns, because Mason could have 102 touchdowns this game. He's Masonite. We love Mason. This is not a anti-Mason firm.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah, we have to. Let's go. Start the procedure. Masonites assemble.
So, to answer the question at hand, Infamous says I missed the super chat. Someone inform Infamous what really is going on with the super chat. Somebody handle that for me. I keep telling people over and over, I need somebody to be my official, hey, Smitty didn't miss your super chat. Take a seat. Grab your ticket. Grab your ticket 47. We're on 12. No, actually, we're on ticket 65, and you're 71. Somebody let him know. Appreciate you, Infamous. You're my man. But hang tight. Hang tight. Got Kyron, Connor, Achane, Sharps, ETN, Irving, Brooks, JJ, Garrett Wilson, Dobbs, Pickens, Worthy, McMillan, 5-2 package, Connor and Pickens for an upgrade. Who? Connor and Pickens for Tyreek Hill. Connor and Pickens for Lamb, for Hill, for Neighbors, for. I mean, you're really cutting it at that level where like the receivers are hard to go get at that point. Like Achane, maybe broken hand Kamara. Gibbs obviously is off the table. Like that's what you're probably looking for because Pickens, has good value. I would say Hill, AJB would be another good one. JJ obviously, St. Brown, any of those players is who I would go get, especially Achane if you needed an RB. All right, let's see here. We got Tyler. What are your thoughts on when CMC comes back and I'm stacked all around and have Mason, have Gibbs, Mixon, Achane. Do I drop Mason for CMC though? Do I drop Mason for Look, again, can't emphasize enough. Thank you, Tyler, for the super chat. I'm gonna answer it just as soon as I can. I'm going through all these. Tyler, I can't emphasize this enough. Mason's fantastic. He's fantastic. There's nothing wrong with him. Sell him creatively, sure. Get out of a little risk and buy low on another player, sure. Is he going to blow up this week and then they have a bye week and does Christian McCaffrey ramp up for 3 games and not do anything for 3 more games? Maybe. Like, Mason's fantastic. But you have an opportunity. I don't know if you have limited running back spots or something, Tyler, but you have limited opportunity to ever get Mason and CMC together and have that locked down, and you're going to get rid of the guy that's about to have 100 yards and a touch or 2 this weekend? No. If you got to make a trade, make a trade. If you got to trade Mixon, who I don't really want to trade, then trade him. If not, I don't know how to do that. If you can only have one more running back on your roster and you have to cut one, then I don't know that you can make much of a move here other than try to trade Mixon for like Hill or for Lamb or something like that. But Tyler, no. Pick up McCaffrey, sure. Drop Mason, no. Smitty, my team is hot, but I have a QB issue. AR isn't getting it done. Of course he's not right now. I'm entertaining Tua and Rodgers for rest of season. Thoughts? I probably go with Tua right now, but it is very, very tough. Rodgers does have a nice schedule. So I guess man, guys, can we vote on this one? Aaron Rodgers or Tua going forward? Can we vote on this one? Keep in mind, Tua's like always capable of leading the league in yards. But yeah, I guess maybe Rodgers is safer. The schedule is nice, and he's got Adams, and that should only get better. But I don't know. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be top 10 fantasy football relevant ever this year? Or just kind of dance around? Kind of feel like I don't know. Tua's got a little bit more upside. I'd go Tua. Chat seems to agree. Traded 2026 first for Devontae Smith. I would. Dunner is down on him after last week for sure. Yeah. Smash. Do I drop Singletary for Tracy? I'd rather have Tracy, but anything can happen and go any which direction with those guys. Definitely think it's possible that you could make the wrong move, even though it looks like the right move right now. But Tracy's better, but no one's playing well at all right now over there. So I don't know. 2-5 traded Barkley for Monty and AJB. I think that could work. Traded AJB for Higgins and MHJ, or trade them. No, bro, don't. Like, you just got AJB. Don't trade him for Higgins. MHJ, if it was Dynasty, sure, yeah, but not in redraft. I have Mahomes, Achane, Monty. I personally would have just kept Barkley. Like, the 2-for-1, that's pretty close, though, to what I tell you to do, but it's a little step below what I want. AJB and Monty's pretty close. That's not bad. I think stand down there. Don't trade AJB for Higgins and MHJ. That's an awful move. Even though I love MHJ. I love buying MHJ. There you go, Infamous. You're right here. I got MHJ, Connor, Mason, Hunt, trade idea for Kyron. Mason and MHJ. Hunt and MHJ, Connor and Hunt for Kyron. I keep saying MHJ. MHJ and Connor for Kyron. Mason and MHJ for Kyron. Infamous. Any one of these combinations you do for Kyron. Would I trade all of them? No, probably not. But there's only so much I can do. A and B, A and C, C and B. Like, I do any one of these combinations, Infamous, to answer your question. For sure. Kyron is worth it. Kyron's got his bye week out of the way. Mason's got kind of borrowed time. Maybe not. And that's why we don't get rid of him. We love him. Connor, injury prone, but doing really well. MHJ not delivering. Like, you could argue that Hunt, Connor, and MHJ could all be traded for Kyron and you keep Mason. Would I trade Hunt, Mason, and MHJ? It's a little bit much to do unless you have the depth to do it. I would do it if you had the depth to do it. But if this would hamper your team and you have nobody but Kyron, then I don't know. But start Otten or Kincaid this week. Otten, until further notice, all the wide receivers are down in Tampa, so he's going to get a lot of run, and he got like 10 receptions last week. With DK News and McLaurin having potentially JD5 out, maybe not. Who would you plug in if needed at wide receiver? Worthy, for sure, over Pearsall. I like Pearsall, but Worthy all day long, broski. T. Breezy, appreciate you. Would you trade Garrett Wilson and Brooks for Kupp and Downs? I would say yes. I would. I have Puka as well. Yeah, I probably would. It's close. Again, Kupp could be amazing, or he could get traded to a team that has a bye week coming up and he's got 2 byes and he sits out the week he got traded. It could be devastating. I don't know. It's hard to say. Or it could be amazing. He could get traded the beginning of a week and play for an amazing team. Or he could go to Pittsburgh and be crap. Traded Kupp and Dowdle for Achane and Warren. I could get behind either side of that. I'd rather have the Achane side. But yes, that's very, very close. Nobody crushed the other side. It's very even. Hurts, Saquon, 5-2. Mixon, team is good. Monty, Chubb, Brooks. You got some opportunity to trade either one of your Nick Chubbs that you got listed here. Brooks, Tyreek London. I'm going to trade maybe Garrett Wilson and Brooks, or Garrett Wilson and Chubb, or maybe Monty and Garrett Wilson for like a Lamb. But I'm going after Lamb. I'm going after Hill. I'm going after players in that vein. Achane would be great as well. Fantastic. And should I be trading? Adams trade frustrating. Adams trade was frustrating. Yeah, maybe for you. But keep the faith. He'll probably be okay. Help with these two teams. Start, sit. Caleb over Stroud. For right now. Winston over AR5. Probably not. D-Hop over Deontay. Probably, assuming we get all good news on D-Hop and volume. Trade Nico for Reed and Brian Robinson Jr. Probably would. Or Nico for Reed and White. I'd probably rather have Brian Robinson Jr. Reed is really good. Reed is very underrated. But there is a world where I like Nico better if you're 5 wins, 6 wins, and a lot of depth that can sustain you for a while. Take a lap. I fleeced myself, says Rockout. Traded my Hill, Goff, Goddard for Kupp, Hunt, and Downs. Traded my Hill, Goff, and Goddard for Kupp, Hunt, and Downs. I'd probably rather have the Hill side by a little bit, but I don't think it's that crazy. And you're wanting to dilute your Hill shares. I get it, trying to switch it up. It's not horrible. Rockout. Kupp could certainly be as good, if not better, than Hill. It's possible. So I don't mind that. It's fine. If you got a lot of Hill shares, I get it. That's fine. 10-team Superflex 0.5, Burrow, JD5, Geno, Lamb, Neighbors, Kupp, Wilson, Diggs, McLaurin, Mixon, Hunt, Brown, ETN. Hold or go after Bijan, K9. Neighbors, Kupp, Wilson, Diggs, Lamb. You got a great team. McLaurin, Mixon, Hunt. I'd probably say, yeah, I'm going to trade. Keep Mixon. Trade Hunt and maybe Garrett Wilson. Hunt and Garrett Wilson for Achane, for Kamara, for Taylor, maybe Walker. Yeah, I could get behind that. Those are all very, very good. And Hunt's solid right now, but Pacheco will probably be back. It sounds like he's ramping up. So 10-team PPR, Hurts, Jacobs, Dobbins, Adams, Higgins, Kelsey. Should I flex Devontae Smith after a poor performance or Mooney versus Tampa? I'm not sitting Devontae Smith because of one game, Jonathan. You can't be overreacting like a overreacting Oscar. You know what I mean? Like Devontae Smith had 2 touchdowns the week prior. If he didn't have 2, he had 1 call back and should have had 2. I forget if he actually had the 2. Need Tyreek in my life. Pause. What's the move? Says MJ. I have Bigsby, Bucky, Deontay. So JSN or Deontay with Bigsby would get it done. Or should get it done. Don't want to involve Gibbs, Kyler, Mahomes, or Debo. I wouldn't either. I would involve Debo maybe if I had to, especially with being out this week likely and then a bye week. I'd rather have Hill, straight up. But I don't know that somebody's going to do that. So Bigsby and Bucky and Deontay, Bigsby, Deontay. I give up Bigsby, Deontay, and JSN. I give up all 3. I give up all 4 for Tyreek Hill, honestly. So you're asking me what to do? Just throw all of them at him. I mean, be careful because he might just say no because, start slow. But I would give up any combo of those 4 guys. What about Wilson, McLaurin for Hill, Keenan Allen? I would probably say Yeah, I'd rather have Tyreek Hill and Keenan Allen in that situation. That's close enough, and Keenan Allen's good enough that I think that's okay. First on waivers, pick one. Lockett, Dobbs, McConkey, Jennings, McMillan, Keon. I go Jennings, then probably Jennings, then Keon, then McConkey, then McMillan, or McMillan, McConkey. I'm not super big on McConkey. Everybody else thinks I'm crazy, but what's he really proving right now? I think he's proving me right. Now, could he have a big game? Sure. Embarrassment of riches, Dynasty League 12 team, flex 1, Achane, Hunt, or Mason. Going Achane. Starting running backs are Brees and Gibbs, Smitty, the GOAT. Appreciate you, the ball. I mean, you could go Mason or Achane. Honestly, Hunt's in the mix too. That's why you're asking the question, but I'm not sitting Achane. I just can't do it. Darnold, Baker, wide receivers, Amon-Ra, Reed, Kupp, Dell, Worthy, Bijan, Mason, Algier, Vidal, Kincaid, Mason, bye week next week. Trade or ride waivers. I would say with this squad, I'm very tempted to say let it ride a little bit unless you can trade Mason, and let's call it a Mason and Worthy or a Mason and a Dell. Probably not easy to trade Dell right now. Mason and, I mean, I don't know that I want to give up Reed or Kupp or Amon-Ra though. So it really becomes a delicate situation to where you get somebody to give you a doubted Achane, a injured Taylor, a doubted Kamara with a broken hand, use the broken hand news, or you're just kind of holding, you know. You're just holding. Mason, I go to the CMC owner, see what they have. Maybe you could get CMC from him using. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, I'm just holding, bro. I think I'm holding. You know, you could go and see what. Yeah, I don't think I want to trade any of this. I think you're in a tough spot. I would let it ride. Make sure Garendo's not on waivers. Mason's still going to have value all year. He might turn into a flex play, but you're starting him as your running back too, but you've got good depth everywhere. And you also could have Mason take over and Christian McCaffrey not return. You know what I mean? Like he could try and return and doesn't. Right now he's looking good, but he's not playing football. Otten or Ferguson, Love or Hurts? I'm going Hurts and probably Otten for now. It seems like that's the right call, but Fergie's really, really tough to sit. I could go either way on that. Lucas, 2 and 5. I just answered that one. Thank you, Lucas. Appreciate you. Trade ETN and get Njoku. I'm fine with that. Already have Hawkinson and Kincaid. Oh, maybe Njoku gets traded within. The NFL could trade my tight end after I get Njoku. Don't make moves. This is the worst idea ever when people try and consolidate and dominate the tight end market in the NFL and then try and make trades later. I'd rather just hold ETN if you've already got your tight end situation on lock. If it was easy trading for a tight end, this guy would have already traded him. Or easy to trade a tight end. Trade Stroud or Caleb for Waddle. I would probably personally keep Stroud for the year. Could Caleb be better this week, though? Yes. And do you think I can trade DK for Devontae Smith? I think you probably could, but I don't even know that I want to. Like, DK's week to week. He's not, like, out for 6 months, bro. Reed and Monty for AJB. I'd rather have Reed and Monty. Have Kyler, Gibbs. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of. Reed's too good, bro. He's really good. Smitty record is 4-3, but having a hard time winning. Team is Dak, Geno, Bijan, Hunt, Najee, Etienne, Algier, Debo, Dell. Trade one of the tight ends if you can. Again, I was just saying it's hard to trade a tight end, but like it's okay if you have two to try and trade one, and you should be trying. But like I wouldn't go acquiring extra ones to then try and trade a tight end. You're already finding it difficult to trade one of Njoku or Ferguson, I bet. So that's why I'm telling the other guy not to try and get into this mess. But you do need to try and trade one of them, find a tight end needy team, and see if you can upgrade Hunt or Najee into a slightly better player. See if you can get into like an Achane, a JT, a Kamara, a Walker, someone of that caliber. And Najee's had such a good game last week and looked good the last 2 weeks. You might be able to get it done. Hunt's not bad though. Maybe you go after Pacheco using potentially like one of the tight ends, and you could potentially go give Hunt to the Pacheco owner to try and upgrade Najee or to upgrade Dell or something like that. A lot of different ways you could spin that, but I think that there are some open doors using that Hunt Pacheco situation. Advice to upgrade keeper league: Hurts, Dak, MHJ, Devontae Smith, Dell, Keon, running back Hall, Monty, Walker, tight end Kincaid. I'm 5-2 in third place. Just lost Godwin. Love the show, bro. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. I'd probably say with this squad, you might have to take a gambler too, bro. You got 3 really good RBs though, and MHJ, Devontae Smith, Dell, not actually that bad. You know, I'm gonna say you either try and trade like Monty and MHJ for a Lamb, or Keon and Monty, or Dell and Monty, which is going to be hard to do, or Devontae Smith and Monty for, I guess, Lamb. You try and get Lamb, or you could go crazy, risky, go with you could go across position because you got Hall and Walker. Monty's at his bye week already. You could keep him and try and trade, but Monty's the guy I kind of want to trade though. Maybe you use that bye week and just say, look, bro, you get an extra bye out of the way. Monty for Tyreek Hill, get a receiver in and roll with Hall and Walker the rest of the way. I think a cross position trade with Monty might be your best bet to get value if that first suggestion doesn't work. Smitty, would you trade BT and Pickens for Walker and Worthy? BT and Pickens for Walker. I'd take Walker and Worthy. Or would you do BT, Pickens, Bucky for Achane, Olave? I would take that Achane, Olave side as well. Walker and Worthy, Pickens, BT. The Pickens, BT, Walker, Worthy's close, though. I think it's a really close trade. I would probably rather have, BT, Pickens, Bucky, BT, Pickens, Bucky for Achane, Olave. I'd take the Achane, Olave side. But it's arguable. It's pretty close. Start D-Hop. Oh, no. How'd I get that? Start drop. Start D-Hop. Start drop 1. Drop 1 would be Tillman. No. Yeah. Probably Tillman, I guess. Look, Douglas and Tillman, you pick your poison. Which one are you dropping? There's upside for both of them. There's downside for both of them. That's my drop. And, obviously you're starting the rest, I guess. What do you think about Tillman? It's always the next question. I like him, but, bro, his situation's, not great. Like the consistency. How's it going to really be there? I don't mind adding him in desperate situations. I don't mind starting him. But, Pop Douglas is probably safer. Traded my Deontay Laporta for Debo. I'm okay with that as long as you've got a tight end option. I think the Laporta side is still good, but in Debo, you're waiting 2 weeks to use him now. So you got to be okay with that. MHJ, Bucky for Jennings, Chase Brown, and Njoku. I'd rather have MHJ and Bucky, to be honest. But no, if you need the depth, and Jennings is going to be pretty good. I guess Chase Brown and Jennings, if you need depth in Njoku, you need a tight end out of this situation. Like, if that all helps you, then you kind of, I guess, are okay making the trade. But in a vacuum, I like the MHJ Bucky side more. I think MHJ's still going to have his day. I'm not writing him off. So in a vacuum, I like that side more. But if the pieces help your lineup and you need Njoku, I get it. JD5 loves Saquon, JT, Javonte, Bigsby, Jonathan Brooks, Tyreek, Nico, Neighbors, Dobbs, Mark Andrews. Any moves should I make? No sleep, Smitty. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. JT, Saquon. I'd probably move Javonte or Jonathan Brooks or Bigsby. I love the receivers. Nico, Tyreek, and Neighbors. Fantastic. Dobbs, Kincaid, Andrews. One of the tight ends, whichever one can get you more. I think probably Andrews right now, scoring 2 touchdowns with Brooks or with Javonte for 1 move. Just take swings at some of these buy low guys. I'm not saying to trade for Pacheco straight up on that, and I'm not saying to go get an extra quarterback you don't need, but you can get Reed, you can get Cooper Kupp. Nakua might be a player I go get using Javonte. Javonte and Brooks, Dobbs and Brooks and Javonte, like Bigsby for Debo, Bigsby for Kupp. You know what I mean? Bigsby and Brooks, or Bigsby and Dobbs for Kupp. Debo, those guys are all kind of, I think, attainable. Appreciate you. JD Love, Mark Andrews, any moves? Okay, I got that one out of the way. Trade JD5 for CMC with no Mason. I suppose it's okay. I don't think I would do it, but I don't disapprove it. I just don't think I'm banking on CMC returning, but that's not that crazy of a trade. It's just not what I would do. Hubbard, MHJ, or Olave if he plays this week. I think Hubbard's the safest no matter what. He gets volume, bro. Should I drop AR5 for Tua? I have JD5 already. I suppose, yeah. That's not a bad move. And MVM, appreciate you. I have Baker, JD5, Kyron Williams, JT, Achane, nice running backs. Brooks, Nico. So Brooks and maybe Bigsby. I love Kyron, JT, Achane. Brooks and Bigsby are potentially tradable pieces with Dobbs, one of the tight ends. So let's call it Bigsby or Brooks with Kelsey, or Bigsby and Brooks with Ferguson. Bigsby, Brooks, Ferguson for Kupp, for Reed, for Taylor, for Achane, for Kamara, for Kupp, Reed, Debo. You might even have some of these guys. I'm just showing you the guys I like. Hill's a fantastic buy for that, and honestly, Hill's attainable, especially if someone needed a tight end badly and you gave him Kelsey and Brooks, or Kelsey and Bigsby. You should be able to get a Tyreek Hill. You should be able to get a Achane. You should be able to get a Bijan potentially if someone's like wanting to sell high on Bijan's value. All doable stuff.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
30-second phone calls, no full teams, or I hang up on you. I just don't have time. It eats up too much time to go through your full roster. So you ask, you get disconnected on. It's just the way it is. No hard feelings. No get mad at me. Smitty hung up on me. I'm no longer going to watch this show. It's not the way it works, okay? So dial on in if you got a quick question. 30-second questions only. Do it live. Are you sitting on ETN in Dynasty or actively trying to trade him? I don't think anybody's going to buy him, so I'm sitting on him. Sick nasty, but it's a great question. Freddie, you're live. Please turn down the show in the background. Freddie, what can I do for you? You're live, pal, Freddie. Good buddy.
Hey, Smitty. I'm being a fickle Freddie.
Mute yourselves if you're not Freddie. Mute yourselves if you're not Freddie, and turn down the show in the background. Go ahead, Freddie. Stop being a fickle Freddie and tell me what's going on.
The injury to James Cook got me worried, so I want to trade him. Who can I get?
Cook. You could go after Kupp, who's also banged up. Reed. I like Jaden Reed. Nakua and something, or if you're risky, you could say Nakua. I mean, look, Nakua's going to be, what if he's the lone starter in McVay's system and Kupp gets traded away? Achane, Kamara, Walker, Taylor, but a lot of these guys they have risks as well. You know, you got to be okay. You can't be petrified Freddie next week because you trade for a JT and he's still lingering a little bit, or Kamara's got a broken hand. Achane's, Tua one pop and Tua's down for the count. So, those are some players I go get. I think Kupp makes some sense.
You think I could get Mason?
I think you could, but there's you're worried about Cook's injury. You're not worried about Mason's workload or anything. Is wild to me.
Yeah. It is that turf, so does that linger around?
What? The toe? I mean, it could, but is CMC and Garendo going to linger around? Is Shanahan going to linger around? I mean, Mason's a great go buy low. I'm not saying don't. I'm just baffled by you hating fearing Cook but not fearing Mason. That's all.
Yeah.
But
so, Cook is my number 2, so I want to trade for another running back.
Yeah, we'll go after Achane. Achane's very doubted right now. Cook and something could get Achane. Cook and something could get Kamara. Kamara's the number 2 running back in fantasy football despite busting for 2 straight weeks.
Because my only other running back is Bigsby.
Well, Bigsby's pretty good.
Oh, okay. All right, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, try Achane, bro. Try Achane. Try JT coming back from injury. Try Kamara.
When's JT supposed to be coming back?
Well, I mean, he's practicing this week, so the thought is this week. But, anything can happen, so you got to understand that. But you're buying at that expectation. And Kamara's got a broken hand, so, pick your poison, baby. Mixon, but Mixon's not going to be that easily had. People love Mixon now. All right, later, bro. Call back if you got an actual offer.
All right, man.
All right, Daniel, 30 seconds. Go.
Smitty, would you trade Devontae Smith and Tony Pollard for J.K. Dobbins and Chris Olave?
Devontae Smith and Pollard for Olave and who?
J.K. Dobbins.
Pollard and Devontae. It's pretty even, man. There's like downsides to both. Like Pollard is tough. I guess I lean toward the JK and Olave side by a hair, but there's downsides to both. There's pros and cons. Neither side is entirely safe at all. Like I'd almost rather go to a different, I'd rather go get like one bigger player. Devontae Smith and is Pollard, Devontae Smith and Pollard. Devontae Smith and Pollard for Tyreek Hill, for CeeDee Lamb, for St. Brown, for Kamara, for, as I said, Achane. Like I want a much safer player than to go get the same situation you're trading away. Like you're trading away same ambiguity for some more ambiguity. I don't know that that's the right trade to serve you. All right, appreciate you, bro. Daniel to the moon.
Take care.
All right, let's see here. Esteban, 30 seconds, go.
All right, no sleep Esteban here. Good to talk to you, Smitty.
What's up?
I'm the guy that traded away Jonathan Taylor. I got Tyreek Hill. I'm a little weak at running back now. I'm sitting around with Kareem Hunt. I'm worried about him long-term. Javonte Williams. I got two tight ends I'm sitting on. I got Laporta and Kincaid. I'm trying to think I got to get rid of one of these guys and pick up one of your waivers, such as Wright, Tucker, Mostert, Braylon Allen. Is that a move I should make, or should I sit on these two tight ends?
I'm just trying to trade. I keep trying to trade one. I keep trying to trade one to open up a spot for waivers rather than get rid of a hot commodity type. Like, just you got to get creative. You got to, even if you're like throwing them in virtually for free to do a perception even Steven trade that you just like better and you feel like, okay, later on this will be an upgrade. I know it. Like you got to get creative. Yeah. You can't just be looking for, if I'm going to trade Ferguson away, I want to trade him for an entire player. Like that's not the way it's going to work, but you could definitely get rid of him to, like, let's say trade a Devontae Smith into a Jayden Reed if you like Jayden Reed more as an example. I'm not saying that's the for sure move. I'm just saying that's the kind of thinking you got to have. You got to be like, I have St. Brown, but I like A.J. Brown more. I'm going to go after that. Or I've got Deebo Samuel, but Cooper Kupp, who also is, injured and problematic situation potentially. I mean, he probably plays this Thursday, tomorrow, but I got the bye week out of the way, so I'm going to make this trade. I'll throw in the tight end. Like, you got to get creative. But don't just cut him, no. Keep working the trades.
Just cut him. All right, I'll try to put something together there. Right. Yeah, no sleep Esteban with this 2-5. It's I'm dying over here.
Nice
right,
job.
Thanks.
Later. Okay, Al from New York, you got 30 seconds.
Hey, Smitty. I'm in a super flex league. My quarterbacks are Hurts, Mahomes, and Kirk Cousins. What can I get for Kirk Cousins?
Try 2 for 1. It make it a little bit easier. But I'm going after Nico. I'm going after Nakua. I'm going after Reed. I'm going after Deebo, who's going to miss 2 games now, 1 bye week and 1 potential just pneumonia out type game. I'm using Kirk Cousins to upgrade a questionable running back like JK into a Walker, Kamara, Achane, Taylor. And in Superflex, Cousins has a lot of firepower because that's a quarterback. You should be able to get those done. Any of those kinds of moves.
Yeah, I have Deebo. The rest of my team is pretty stacked. I think I'm weak at receiver, but Somebody wanted to give me Worthy, but another guy in the league also wanted to give me Higgins for Cousins. I just feel like I can get a little more.
Yeah, I think you get a little more in a super flex, but Higgins is getting there. Like, it's not bad, but try for a little bit more. I think you could get a Tyreek Hill, honestly. You know, if not that player, a Kupp of potential.
The guy that has Tyreek Hill, he's been holding him all year, and he just got CD Lamb. So now he has Tyreek Hill and Lamb.
Yeah. Well, keep trying to.
I don't think this guy's
keep trying.
Up, but, yeah.
Yeah, you got to give up a little something to get A.J. Brown. You can't get A.J. Brown for Cousins. You give up a little something, now you can. You give up a little something, you could get, you know, a player like Kupp or whatever. All right, bro.
I got Devontae Smith, so
yeah, I mean, try
with the Eagles, but
I mean, Devontae Smith and Cousins for like Lamb, like type of move. I definitely think that's possible. JJ, Jamar Chase, like obviously you're gonna try for those. You're not, but Devontae Smith and Cousins in Superflex should get some of those done, or at least get people thinking about it.
Okay.
Or upgrade Achane to Achane or something like that. You know, using another running back like JK.
I have Achane and Kyron.
All right, Al. Appreciate you. Later. Rob, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. I'm trying to make a trade with the Gibbs owner. I offered him Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, and Brian Robinson for Gibbs in London. He's probably not going to do that.
Okay.
Would you? I also have Hopkins, who I picked up thanks to you because you mentioned it on the show. So I picked him up as the waivers cleared for nothing. So I have him.
How bad? Like, because I have Achane. I'm trying to up my running back game because I have CD Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, now D-Hop. And my running backs are Achane and Brian Robinson are my top two running backs. But I need to get someone like Gibbs. How, like, if I have Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, CD Lamb, like how much would you trade for someone like Gibbs?
What RBs do you have?
I have Achane and Brian Robinson and Pollard.
So Brian Robinson and a receiver for Gibbs, like Cooper Kupp, Brian Robinson. You know, no CD Lamb type player, but like right below those guys, the Debos, the Kupps with Brian Robinson Jr. could get you a Gibbs. I mean, unfortunately, you're buying Gibbs at the wrong time. Last week when I hammered home this, go get Gibbs, go get Gibbs, go get Gibbs, go get Gibbs, that was the time. Now you're buying him as a top 5 running back. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this guy wasn't responding to any trade requests. He's like, I didn't see him. So now he's like,
you gotta go to his front door, bro. You gotta knock down his front door. It's not, you know.
I might.
You gotta message this girl on Facebook and be like, hey, tell your man to answer my question. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the only thing you're gonna be able to do. Going after Gibbs now is not the wisest move. It's like buying a new Forerunner. You know, one of the new Forerunners that are going for $15K up on the actual retail price. I think to get a new Forerunner, it's $65,000 probably, maybe $70.
Yeah.
And they're.
I'm concerned with Kupp. You know, if he gets traded to the Steelers, he's gonna
then trade him for Gibbs. Brian Robinson and Kupp for Gibbs, and then try and get somebody back. All right, got to roll, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Later.
All right.
The Bruce, you're live. 30 seconds, Bruce. Keep it short, guys. Come on. Yeah.
Hey, Smitty, is Parasol worth the start or no?
Yeah. It depends on the situation.
Because I just picked him up off waivers, and I was like, you know, Ayuk's done for the year, so maybe he'll take his spot.
I mean, Jennings is going to get a huge uptick, but both of them this week are because Debo's probably out. So, yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. It depends on your options,
should I start
though.
Worthy, too?
I would rather start Worthy, yeah. I'd rather start Worthy, yeah.
Okay. That's all. All right, Smitty.
All right, later, bro. Bruce.
Later.
James, you're live.
Smitty, how's it going?
What's up?
So this is a dynasty league, and I want to know how much I should spend on Marvin Harrison Jr. Would Olave be too much, considering he's also a younger receiver?
No. I mean, MHJ, to put this in context, MHJ was in my top 5 overall maybe before the season started. Now, granted, there's some roadblocks and some problems and some concerns, but he doesn't fall from being a top 5 wide receiver, at least, into like Olave's. I like Olave, but Olave is going to always probably be a 2nd to 3rd round player. MHJ can certainly be a 1st round overall dynasty player. I can't guarantee that the problems get resolved or that Kyler ever looks consistently at him, but I think he will. I think that he's a rookie. There's a lot of getting on the same page, but the problem is not MHJ. So we're banking on Kyler and the Cardinals fixing it, and I think they will. But I'm not. I'd rather have MHJ by a country mile over Olave and Dynasty.
Okay. All right.
All right, bro.
Sounds good.
Later. I mean, MHJ, giving up on MHJ and Dynasty is wild. There are a lot of people doing it. TP, appreciate you. JD5, Mason, Garendo, Kyron, Corum, Monty, Sharps. Phone lines are closed, guys. Sorry. Achane, team has Reed, Chase, Kraft. I play them in week 9. Are on a bye. Another team has Nakua Neighbors. Achane, not me. TP is kind of confusing here. I know you're clarifying it right here. Okay, so what do you... 5 and 2. JD5, Mason, Garendo, Kyron. Sorry, the other team has Achane, not me. Achane team... Okay, Achane team has Reed, Chase, Kincaid, Kraft. I play them week 9, and 49ers are on a bye. Another team has Nakua Neighbors. Are you asking me to create a trade with that team, or are you just saying, is there anything you should do? If there's anything you should, because you didn't really ask a question. Monty, Amon Ra, Kupp, Kyron, solid team, Mason. You're 5 and 2. I'm not worried about one matchup or who you're playing. Or you're 5 and 2. You're set up pretty well. I think Kyron, Monty, Amon Ra, Kupp is solid. The only thing I'm trying to do is trade Mason for an Achane, trade Mason for a Walker, trading Mason for a Kamara, trading Mason for a JT. And if that means I give up, honestly, I think you're a Niner fan, I think, so you're not going to like this. But honestly, I would explore trading a banged-up Kittle who's, playing out of his mind, but you get all of the points that Kittle has gotten. So I'm very much looking to use that if I need to. Hopefully not, but if I need to get in Mason into a safer vehicle. If that makes sense. So like a 2 for 2. I don't know that I give up Kittle straight up. I'm just saying make it a 2 for 2. Superfish looking for the Dolphins to get back on track. It's been a rough season so far indeed. Plus Tua will be better rested for November, December. That's true, Superfish. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's a tall order to get this thing back on fully on track, but definitely think, yeah. G-Men says, Smitty, don't forget about us early birds. What are we talking about there, G-Men? I'm kind of confused on what that even references. Appreciate you, G-Men. Trade Bijan, Evans, JSN for Aaron Jones, McLaurin, Dobbins. I'd rather have the Bijan side by a lot. And I know you got to wait on Evans there, but I'm going to. May, Goff, and Herbert week 12 with Allen on a bye. May, Goff, or Herbert week 12. Right now, I'm going to say Goff. I like May. May could get there. Let's reassess this as we get closer. But right now, Goff. Need a backup for Kincaid. I have DK, Reed, BT, and Dell. Do I drop JMO for Laporta? Laporta shouldn't be on waivers. That's a grandma league. I guess I'm... Look, JMO's out 2 weeks, but he'll be back. Is there not another player you could drop? If you've got to drop Dell or JMO, it's pretty close. I don't like either one of those, but this is a grandma league. You've got to pick up Laporta. And I would say you're not getting a backup for Kincaid. Laporta is a top 3 tight end. Like, Kincaid's the backup to Laporta. So you definitely get that done. As far as who to drop, I don't know. Flip a coin, but I guess J-Mo, because he's out 2 weeks, and in that league he'll stay out, and you can pick him back up later, is my guess. So that's probably my answer. Got Aaron Jones for Zay Flowers and Jameson Williams. Is that a good trade? I think pretty much a decent move until he gets hurt, or if he gets hurt. But yeah, I'm fine with that. My receiving corp is London, Neighbors, and Hopkins. Also, who do you start at flex, Ramondre Stevenson, Dowdle, or Hopkins? If the news is boding well for Hopkins workload-wise, I'd go Hopkins, but I think Stevenson, I guess, if not. But very close call. Sup, Smitty, I'm 5-2. Team is JD5, Hall, Achane, Lamb, BT, Debo. Benches, K1, Braylon, Ray, Davis, Najee, Adunze. Any moves? I'd probably say stand down on this team. It's a really good team. Any trade you make, you'd have to get rid of something I like, except for Najee. Najee and K1, unless you need to use K1 this week, you could wait. But Najee and K1 could net you a pretty damn good player. Najee, if someone is QB needy. And if not, Najee for, I mean, bro, you could trade Najee right now straight up if you're getting crafty for a Debo injured, a Reed, doubted Reed, a Puka Nacua, a Cooper Kupp potentially. There's a lot of ways that you could go about trading that value, that Najee value right now. And I would get out of it. I would sell high. And then Smitty, starting running backs are Tank, Bigsby, and Jalen Warren. Woo, that's rough. Or the Warren part is. Have DK, Amon-Ra, Waddle, and Devontae Smith. Got offered James Conner for Devontae Smith and Tank. No, I want Devontae Smith and Tank over Conner. Look, Tank is right there with Conner. Maybe that doesn't end up being the case at the end of the year or in a couple weeks, but I'm going to bank on Tank Bigsby being as good as Conner. And you're giving up Devontae Smith? Hell no. I mean, Devontae Smith and Conner are equals. You know, DVO, appreciate your blank 99-cent hauler, but I think you dropped another one right below that, so appreciate your double super chats. My mang. Trade my Henry plus Adams plus Terry for JD5, HN, and JJ. Woo, doggy. Wow. I guess I do it. I can't believe, I don't think I could say yes to many Henry trades right now because Henry's balding the hell out. But you know what? You get HN and JJ and JD5, and I assume you need a quarterback. If you don't need a quarterback, it makes it complicated and hard to say it's a smash anymore, more of an even Steven trade. And then you got to trade your other quarterback. Like, let's say you have a Kyler. Like, Kyler's pretty good. Like, not blowing the doors off, but I think that makes it harder to justify, but maybe you can trade him for a Puka. Kyler for Puka, and then boom, I love the trade, all around. But if you need a quarterback, JD5, HN, and JJ is hard to pass up, but it's really close. I'd say it's damn near even. I just lean toward JJ slightly, and HN and JJ already had their bye week. I just feel like that's a pretty damn good trade at the end of the day. It really is. What a trade. Phone lines are closed, but this guy can break in for a few seconds. No small time chitter chat, pitter patter. Bill, hit me with something good. Bill the Tickler, everybody. What can I do for you, Bill? I'm running out the door soon, so hurry up. What can I do for you?
Hey yo, Sunrise Smitty, how you doing, brother?
Hey yo, Bill. What's up?
So this week, and this week alone, my 10-man PPR redraft. I got Mahomes, Lamb, and London. And my flex, I'm going to go with Worthy this week over D-Hop. I did acquire D-Hop. He's on my bench, but I'm going Worthy this in my flex. Are we good with that? Is that good for copacetic for this week?
Worthy over who?
D-Hop.
Yeah, I'm going Worthy over D-Hop this week, but maybe the news changes that. We got to really stay on top of it, Bill. I don't have all the answers right now. This trade happened at 4 a.m. and I haven't slept yet, so we got to wait. For right now, put Worthy in. For right now, put Worthy in.
That's why it's called the Sunrise. The first Sunrise, I didn't catch it live. I had to watch it. This afternoon after I woke up. I was so disappointed. I missed the Sunrise cast.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. Bill the Tickler.
All right, thanks.
Bill, how you doing? You doing good, Bill? You doing good, Bill?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
I'm doing fine.
All right, Bill. Appreciate you. Later. Should I trade Bigsby for Pacheco to open up a spot? I'd rather have Bigsby. I have Achane, Wright, and Gibbs and Monty. Yeah, I right now I'd rather have Bigsby, but it's close, I suppose. But there's a lot that needs to happen for Pacheco to do well. Trade Bijan and Dell for Mason and Devontae Smith. Bijan and Dell for Mason and Devontae Smith. I keep Bijan, bro. I keep Bijan. Start Tua over K1. Dolphins are tough. I'd probably start Kyler, but really close. Missed the super chat. Start McMillan or Dell. I'd probably go Dell for right now. I like McMillan a lot though, but I would still start Dell, and I think that they're gonna get him the ball. I'm still gonna roll the dice on that one. 2 and 5, 12 man, 2 flex, PPR. Kupp for Devontae Smith and Cooper. I would rather have Kupp. I'd rather have Kupp. And somebody said I missed the earlier super chats. Are you sure? Because I have them all cleared out. Let me see real quickly. Pitts or Njoku. I answered this one. That was the first one. This was the Smitty, new name, Sleeping Smitty. I hit that one. Monty and T for CD. I said I'd rather have CD. I hit all these earlier super chats. Currently 3 and 4. My team is Kyler, Achane, Jacobs. Do I ride it out? Allen owner won't trade. I read that one. I've read all of these. I don't think there's any of them that have been missed. Let's see. B-Men. You know, is it possible at the start of the show there were some that went through that I didn't get? I suppose it's possible, but I don't see them on screen. Let me see if I can locate them another way. I don't think I can. Maybe I can here. Hold on. So early birds, London and Javonte Williams get Walker and BT. Maybe these didn't come through. Let me read the first super chats of the day. London and Javonte Williams to get Walker and BT. I think I did read that one. Walker and BT. So I'm going to go Walker and BT. 0.5 Superflex trade T-Law and Cooper for Dak and MHJ. I don't think I read this one. This is from Tex. Dak and MHJ. I'm going to say Dak and MHJ. Hey, Smitty, QB, Hurts, Kyron, Jacobs, Mostert, Tracy, Titan, McBride, Hawkinson. I'm 3 and 4. What trade should I do? I like McLaurin, Metcalf, MHJ, Hopkins. I'm probably looking to maybe trade Jacobs and or like Stevenson or Hunt or Brooks. One of those guys. I might have answered this one to upgrade McLaurin or Metcalf into a Hill or a Lamb, especially a Lamb, but a Hill, a St. Brown, a JJ. And if you can't do that, then honestly, I would maybe use one of the wide receivers just because you have a lot of wide receivers. It's not like they're all popping off and DK's injured, but maybe DK and Stevenson or DK and Hunt or Brooks for Achane or a JT or a Kamara. Will you trade Garrett Wilson, Brooks for Kupp and Downs? I think I did answer that one. I'd said I'd rather have Kupp. Trade Chase for Achane and got offered Downs for Corum. Either one, Downs or Corum. If you have Kyron, you take Corum. If not, I think it's pretty even. Go with preference, but trade Chase for Achane. I'd rather have probably Jamar Chase by a hair. Traded Deontay Laporta for Debo Henry. I don't know if I got that one. Some of these early ones might not have been on my screen for some reason. Deontay Laporta for Debo Henry and my tight end. Deontay Laporta. I'd rather have Debo and Hunter Henry. Should I trade Bijan and Dell for Jordan Mason? This one's from Case. Should I trade Bijan and Dell for Jordan Mason and Devontae Smith? I'd probably rather have Bijan and Dell. Kupp and Downs for DK Tank Iapuka. I think I said Kupp on that one. I did have that one. G-Men to start McMillan or Tank Dell. Yeah, I don't think I saw that one, G-Men. Tank Dell. Jeff with the super chat, should I start Tua over K1? I did answer that one, and I'm going to lean toward... I think I said... You know what? I go back and forth. I guess I would probably say Tua's safer. K1's higher risk, higher reward. Pitts or Njoku, I did answer that one. I said Pitts. Smitty, new name sleeper. Monty T. Higgins. I think I'm caught up. There might have been that first few of them for whatever reason didn't hit my screen. And someone may have said that last show too, and I didn't have them. Those early bird ones might not register. They count, but they might not register on my screen. Because when I go live, it's potentially, I see most of them. They do pop up. The early bird ones usually do. Maybe there's a glitch or something. So I apologize for anybody that didn't get their super chat answered until now, that dropped them from the beginning. Garrett Wilson for McBride. I have Adams and Hill and Nico and Deontay. I would probably say I like that even Steven because of the tight end position being such a tough spot to nail down right now. Traded Connor and Jonathan for Jonathan Taylor. I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor. But Connor is playing tough. There's definitely a reason to argue both sides. Mitty, I got D-Hop, MHJ, Pickens, Worthy, and Dobbs. Who do I start at wide receiver 2 and flex? I would probably say Pickens, and I would say, for me, Pickens and Worthy. But I'm putting my balls on the table for the Worthy start. I'm not straying away from it. Got offered Lamb, Mahomes, and Hunt, and JMO for my JD5, Monty, and Reed. I probably would rather have JD5, Monty, and Reed. Yeah. You already have Hurts, though. What in the hell are you doing? This is a weird trade, then. Lamb. Oh, okay. So, let me see. Give me Lamb, Mahomes, and Hunt, then, for JD5, Monty, and Reed. But this is weird. It's a weird trade. Yeah, I'd probably take Lamb. Yeah, channel lift to take Lamb. Lamb makes your team so much better. Thank you guys all for the super chats. Thank you all for subscribing. Please subscribe if you're new, and know that we're literally I think we're 10 subscribers. We could get there on the show right here. We're 15 subscribers away from 31K. I'll change the sign right behind my head right now. I'll get the one out right now. We need about 13 actually. 13 subscribers right now to get to 31K. And there's, of the 770 of you watching, there's always 100 to 200 people that are not subscribed, that just, I don't know why they don't like to commit fully, whatever the case may be, but I promise you it helps you to know when I'm going live, to know, hit that subscribe button and hit that, slap that thumb up button. Let's see if we can get there on this show. There's one that just came in. Hit it and do it live. Let's get to a 31K on the show. Let's do it. All right. Super chat from Jeff says, need a running back 2 and a flex. Full PPR. I'm probably going to go out of this crew right here, Javonte and MHJ personally. I still am not giving up on MHJ. We love you, Smitty. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate all of you. You guys are absolutely amazing. We need 12 more subscribes, and 12 more subscribes. Thank you all for who just subscribed. 12 more, and we hit 31K on the show right now, which is exciting to hit it while we're live. And I'll change that number out behind me immediately when it happens. Bijan, Algier, Coleman, and Kamara for Kamara, Zay, and Kendre. Bijan, Coleman. I'd probably say give me... Jeez. Give me with the broken hand, give me Bijan. Not that he has the broken hand, but with the broken hand to Kamara, give me Bijan. Very close call, bro. Very close call. Hold on Pacheco or trade for Harrison Jr. I'd rather have Harrison Jr. than Pacheco because there's unknowns for Pacheco. Got offered D. Lund for Monty. Should I hold? I would take Monty if you need a running back. Hold out for CD. I'd rather have CD by a mile. But if you can't get that done, of course, I'd rather have Monty if I need a running back. I'd rather have London if I need a receiver. It's damn near even Steven, and therefore you go with whatever you need in order to get it done. 10 more subscribes. 10 more subscribes, and we are at 31K. I'll get it out. We got to swap out the number from a 0 to a 1. 31K on the live stream. Phenomenal. Where's my 1? Where's my 1, ladies and gentlemen? Here it is. We'll swap it out on the live stream. 31K. 10 more subscribes. Punch it. Do it live. Pistol says, Smitty has the best intuition in the biz. Go sub. Appreciate you, bro. It's kind words of you. Smitty been growing this year. It's been helping people win their league. Easy 1K subs at week. Easy 1K subs a week. Attaboy. Thank you. Appreciate you, pal. Hit that subscribe. God, we're 7 away. 7 subs away from 31K. 7 subs away from 31K. Here is the number. Put it on screen right here. I will say, I get excited about the sub count sometimes, and I try not to worry about it because it really shouldn't be the driving force behind the channel. Like, our 31K followers, as soon as we get there, is worth more than most channels 100 or 200K, because I built it quality. I didn't try and I don't put up a lot of shorts and things that gain bad quality subscribe. We're an amazing crew, and it's been worth it to grow it slow because of how tight knit we are, and it's a phenomenal community. And we also do more live streams than anybody, and really live stream pretty much as the main thing on the channel, and that grows a little differently. So it's not something that grows quite as fast, but it's what I enjoy doing, and so I don't compromise on that too much. But we'll have more uploads this year going forward. Probably tomorrow. Rocks, appreciate you. It's a blank super chat, but I appreciate you dropping it. All right, guys, 5 more subs, and then we're at 31K. 5 more subs, do it live. 5 more subs, do it live. 24 hours, I'll be on Saturn, says Sick Nasty. Sick Nasty will have his Saturn emoji attached to his name for his exclusive membership. 31K, period stops. Period stop, it's something. Oh, yeah, no, I am Bill. I'm excited about it. I'm just saying, I think the thing that I want to be, the thing that I'll pause on is 100K. You know, that's the big milestone that any streamer is lying if they say they aren't excited about. Start to Mason, Chuba, Reed, BT, Amari, Waddle. I'm probably going to go Mason and Reed. It's hard to not go Mason and BT, though. Mason and BT, maybe. Guys, BT or Reed. A lot of people are off the Reed train after 1 week, but remember, everybody was off the BT train after 1 week. I guess I go BT. Yeah, I go BT and Mason. BT and Mason. Final answer. But it's very tempting to put Reed in. Vote if you could on that, if you guys wouldn't mind. 4 more subscribes and we're at 31K. Kupp, or just hit that subscribe button, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, 4 more subscribes and we're at 31K. Hit that subscribe button. Like the video, please, as well, while you're at it, if you don't mind. Kupp and Garrett Wilson and Brooks. Kupp or Garrett Wilson and Brooks. Give me Kupp. Yeah, if the Steelers get Kupp, it's not going to be my favorite landing spot. I guess if you feel like that's going to happen, then I'd say don't get Kupp. I don't like it for Kupp. If Kupp goes to Pittsburgh, I don't think he can do the same things. It will be devastating. Trade Kamara and Garrett Wilson for A.J. Brown and Jacobs. Kamara and Garrett Wilson for A.J. Brown and Jacobs. Give me Kamara and Garrett Wilson. Kamara's playing awesome football. Broken hand concerns the hell out of all of us, right? But you gotta go with BT won that vote, by the way. You gotta go with Kamara right now. The thing that makes me feel like we won't see a trade to Pittsburgh, hopefully, it's still a very likely landing spot, is that I think the Rams are standing on business for the second round pick and return. That's why KC didn't do it. KC tried to get Kupp first, but then they went to Hopkins because the Rams are standing on the second round value. Swift for Reed and Pacheco. I'd rather have Reed and Pacheco over Swift by quite a bit. I'm a big advocate of going and getting Reed right now. What players would you accept for Henry? Hill and Achane, Lamb and Walker, Lamb and JT, Hill and JT. Like, you need to get something in that vein, bro, or you don't trade Derrick Henry.
Motion
period.
detected at the front door.
Drop Jets D for Kansas City rest of season. I think I could. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. This super chat here from Alex. My QBs are JD5 Baker. Can only roster 2 QBs. Pick up Darnold, Nix, Geno. I'd probably rather have Darnold over Baker right now. Tua maybe as well, but probably Darnold. Darnold's looking pretty good. Look at me at the Bengals game Sunday. We'll look for you, pal. Appreciate you, Alex, dropping the super chat. I mean, Darnold's been playing pretty good, bro. Kupp, not a moonball catcher. Moonball, incoming moonball. Here comes a moonball. Watch out, trade Smith for Cooper. I'd rather have Devontae Smith. 2 more subscribes. 2 more subscribes. And we're at 31K. It will change that bad boy back yonder. Two more subscribes. Would you guys Pacheco for something? Sure. 31K. Doing it live. 31K. We just hit it, boys and girls. We just hit it. 31K. Smash. Smash. Here it is on screen. There we go. Let's cook.
Let him cook.
$31K. Doing it live. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. We just hit 30K. And now we're at 31K. Congrats to all of you. I work for you. 31K. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you. We're at 31,003 to be exact. 31,003. Let me take another screenshot of that. Here it is. 31,003. I'll be back probably tonight to do some sort of show. Appreciate every single one of you. Appreciate all my mods. Let's do it live. Hopefully later tonight. More Dynasty Channel stuff coming later. I don't know if it will be this week that we start ramping that up or anything, but we'll be doing more Dynasty Channel stuff. If you haven't subscribed to the Dynasty Channel, make sure you hit that link right here. Here is the Dynasty link, Dynasty Channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's a whole different channel. There it is right there. Also, don't forget to join the Patreon. That link is pinned in the live chat. The Patreon link is also right here. So click that Patreon link. The Patreon is essentially our live chat environment. It's 10 live chat rooms. We cram into the game day lounge at the bottom here when games are going on. Any game is going on. We're inside this game day lounge. The rest of it becomes a ghost town. We're all just sitting in there. It's 365, 24/7. You ask a trade question. There's somebody there to help you. It's basically the YouTube live community inside a 24-hour live chat environment. And then all the audio, I do audio live streams on there, like graveyard audio live streams. So like in midnight, something like that. My time, 3 a.m. Sometimes 10 p.m. my time, 1 a.m. I'll go in there, or during the games at halftime, sometimes on the Sunday morning games, I'll go live on Patreon. And now all of the Patreon live streams that I do in there exclusively in Patreon, they get recorded and then I post them as an article so you can re-listen to it, which is fantastic now. So if you say, well, Smitty, I like this, but I can't ever catch the live streams, they're always replayable now in the Patreon via the articles. So it's as simple as on the Patreon, it's articles and live chatting. That's it. There's just 2 options to toggle. Very simple app to use. And the link is again right here. And that link will have you download the app and get ready to go. It's $10 a month, cancel anytime, very simple. And then also don't forget Underdog, promo code Smitty. Underdog will match your first deposit up to $1,000, so 50%. So if you deposit $2,000, they'll give you $1,000. You deposit $10, they'll give you $10 is the minimum. They'll give you $5, and you can play Underdog week number 8, draft a week 8 team, do pick'ems, high or low, and I'll have some of those for you, the highers and lowers for this week that I think will smash. I'll see you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. Superfish with the final super chat of the night says congrats on the 31,000. It's a beautiful thing for all of us. Please get some rest though. We need you. Appreciate you, Superfish. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you probably tonight.
Legend has it if you say Saint Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.